Is that correct?
So
Mostly?
for me, the number one reason why I voted for Trump was partly for the economy, but the number one reason is I got sick of the attack on children by the left. I'm a Christian first, and I don't like the agendas that they push onto children. I don't like the agenda that we should only care about AB as women. You know, as a woman, you should only care about that, so hyper focused, and not care about world peace, not care about the economy, not care about gas prices. And also, I'm sick of the lip service of the Democrats. They always make promises and they do nothing, in particular for the Black community, and I got sick of it. D, what was your reason voting for Trump?
I don't want to parrot you, but basically a lot of those issues resonated with me personally. One, I have a lot of friends, well, people who I know and friends who died from fentanyl overdoses. You know, and I feel like that could be stopped if we hammer down on the southern border. So that was a really really big issue that I believe that Trump could fix. You know, I also think that the economy is super important. I'm a business owner here in Florida, and it's affecting me in my day-to-day life. You know, the gas prices, you know, services, all kind of stuff. And I think that he's the one to come in and clean this place up.
Okay, cool. So the one thing I'm wondering, like, so is the economy, right? The left keeps saying that the economy is good already, and I think that's the mistake. That because inflation is all-time high,
Right.
and prices are very high for a lot of people. Even though they say economy is good, but that's not what people are feeling. So I think that's why Kamala did wrong, is that by telling people like, oh no, economy's good. And I think
Right.
that's the bad messaging, which even if it's maybe true, I don't know, but that's not how I feel. I do feel prices are crazy high right now. And
Right.
so now, unfortunately, I know that there's no way to make prices go down. Unfortunately, corporates don't do that. Probably the gas and probably the maybe grocery, I don't know. But the one thing that's have me a bit worried is the tariff plan that Trump is, saying. Is do people not get bothered by it, or people think either think it's gonna be fine, or what's the MAGA thinks on that side? I'm just trying to understand it because that's the one that got me a bit worried. Yes, sure, we get tax cut, but the tax cut is for me on
Right.
my income. It's very very minuscule, and I
Got
think
you.
I think people are a lot in my lower income, so I'm not sure why. But then it to me, because this is where I'm leaning towards Kamala better, because she wants to give more tax towards the richer people because they can afford it, and then
Okay.
give more money towards the lower. But then I guess, yeah, explain to me on that
I'll let
part.
D answer the question about the tariffs.
And apologies if I already answered that already.
D, you're breaking up.
Yeah, D, you breaking up. But Blue, what? Say something again, D. No, you're breaking up. But Blue, what I'll say about the Republicans is, have you noticed now all of a sudden they're saying the economy is good? And as far as the tariffs, they're going to say, oh, it's a good weapon. It's just a weapon. He's not really going to use it, even though the price is pushed on the consumer. So it's really
That's not
not.
true.
So you're saying he's going to use the tariffs?
Yeah, the tariffs are going to ensure that countries that are importing in goods are being charged for it.
The
So
American
that in turn
consumer is going to
will
pay for that.
support American businesses to stop importing in goods and make more goods here. Number one. Number two, that will then bring down prices in the sense of he's charging more of those goods
That's a
being exported
lie.
in.
That is an
Okay,
absolute
well,
lie.
we'll see.
Like that's going to make the prices higher.
Hmm.
The prices are going to be higher because now they have to pay the fee. And you're saying that they're not going to be able to build a factory or a manufacturing plant overnight. So you're still going to have to get certain goods for overseas. Getting something made in China is literally like 90% cheaper than getting it made in America. So if you even make something in America, it's going to be way more expensive than it would be if it's made overseas.
It will create more factory jobs, shrink the federal deficit, lower food prices, and allow the government
All of that
to
is a lie.
subsidize.
Everything you
Okay.
just said is
All
just
right. Well, then we'll
mass
see.
misinformation.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
What tariffs is going to do is going to make things coming
Thank you,
overseas
Damien.
way more expensive. The only
Okay.
thing that may happen is that you will create jobs. That's why he's saying that, because what you just said.
Request up, Damien, and then I'll let you come explain it. Damien, if you request up, I'll let you explain it because you probably can explain it better. Blue, I want to thank you for coming up. I'm going to allow someone else a chance to come, okay?
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see him requesting up, so I'm going to go, well, hold on. He did. Let me accept him. He's going to explain it. Damien?
So, how's everybody doing?
We doing good.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, that's good to hear. So, I just want to point out, do you know the reason why Trump is putting these hard tariffs specifically targeting China? Does anybody know why?
Why?
If not, let me educate you. What happened after COVID? After COVID, China just took over, not just the country, they freaking took over the world, building skyscrapers in every
Yeah.
city and every world,
And they're in a
everywhere.
lot
They're
of
taking
what
over.
people don't realize, them in Russia, they are in a lot of foreign countries, especially the
They're
Caribbean and
taking
Africa.
over and everywhere. So the point of the tariffs is to put China in their place from taking over. What part of that don't you guys understand? Yes, we might have to pay a little in the beginning, but it's well worth it in the long run, because if we don't do something now, if we don't try anything, this is going to be the next communist China. We already have 9 Chinatowns in New York City. We only had 2 before COVID. Now we have 9 after COVID.
China economy is struggling. Their demographics, most of their population is old. So, like, longevity wise, that's not a threat.
Thank
And you
you.
Am I still
basically
breaking up?
just said
No, you sound good.
the American taxpayer should pay for the fact that we're competing with China. I don't agree with that at all.
That's your
Okay,
opinion, but the numbers don't lie.
First off, tariffs are only for imported goods, right? Anything that's made in America, the price does not go up at all. What China?
That's
The
not
reason
true.
that
That's not true.
It is.
A
It
tariff-
is true. It
once you
is.
put a tariff on
tariffs
something,
are only
it's
for
on the
foreign-made
person
goods.
who's
That is
importing
it.
The person who is importing it pays more of the tariff.
That's not true, Ray. It's for
Well-
It's for foreign-made goods. Anything made in America is not affected by the tariffs. All right, first off, secondly, the only reason that China can compete and sell things so cheap is because they do it at slave labor costs. They have sweat factories with little kids and other people getting paid way less than livable wages to make these products. So now what American companies can't compete with that. So what it's going to do is it's going to force them to raise their prices, therefore letting American companies in to compete on a global scale with them. And once American companies get more of the market share, the small companies grow, they get bigger, they do more volume, then they could bring their prices down.
This is what I'm saying to you guys' point. Even if all of that is true, it's going to take years to build factories. You're not going to be able to build factories to feed the American people overnight, and it's going to be way more expensive. Like you said, it's sweatshops in China. So
We
like,
don't buy any food. You saying feed us? We buy no food from China. Nothing. China doesn't. China they don't produce enough food to feed themselves.
True.
So you won't have enough. You won't have enough plastic junk. You won't have the newest iPhone. Your kid won't have the new little blow up toy. So what? So you're saying we should never build factories in America because prices go up slightly for a little while?
I'm saying the American economy is the number one economy in the world. Why should American people suffer because America wants to compete with China?
Because we're already suffering because of China. So we're trying to correct. We're trying to rectify it.
We sent all of our jobs across the water because it's cheaper over there. There was a mistake made. We gave up a bunch of industries. We made a mistake, and now we have to course correct. We have to fix it now before we can never fix it.
Do you guys know the smog levels in China? The amount of smoke that they have, and people have to walk
Oh
around
yeah,
with
they're
masks.
not going to be able to breathe in a few years from now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so you want
exactly.
that to be here with us
Listen,
building all
that
this stuff?
that that's
That's
exactly
exactly
why
why.
people like you who bring up climate change and pretend that you care so much about the world. If you did, you want all that stuff to be built in America, the
Right. Or
cleanest
balance
country.
it out.
Yes, because if China builds, we're going to use tires as a small example, but you can substitute tires for anything. If China builds makes more tires, right? Do you
You're
think
gonna
that
work the job.
do you think that
Sorry.
they build tires over there better of EPA standards than America? No, you don't believe that. You know that the factories here will be cleaner. They will produce less CO2, and
Right.
the carbon footprint will be a lot smaller if it was built here, because we have a bunch of standards and guidelines already that we have to follow. So yes, things might cost a little more, but if you care about the planet, it being built in America helps everybody. We get more
Listen,
jobs and we get a cleaner planet.
listen, you can't really trust Chinese made stuff because they even make soy sauce from human hair in China.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything
Well,
about
Yeah, yeah,
that.
Google it. Google it.
Okay.
well, what I'm saying, if you're saying that if you care about the environment, just because we make it here, it may be made better and it may be made slightly more cleaner, but just where it's made doesn't affect who's affected by the smog. Africa is actually going to be affected the most because of like winds and environmental things, and like it's hotter there. So just because you move it to another place doesn't mean it's not going to affect the rest of the world.
Well, Damien, thank you for coming up. I'm gonna allow someone else to come up.